What's up, guys? Today we're checking out Netherlands raided by a string of drug mafia murders. This is the news as we see here, so let's see what we got here about mafia and drugs in the Netherlands, I guess. If you're new to the channel, guys, here we do reactions around the Netherlands, so if you're into that, guys, stay tuned, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's get around to the video, see what we got.
The high-profile killings include that of investigative journalist R DeVries. DW correspondent Jack Parrock has been exploring how attempts to shed light on criminal forces behind the country's liberal trade in drugs are coming under pressure from mafia intimidation. Here's his report from The Hague.
Jack Parrock.
A Dutch coffee shop where it's permitted to buy small amounts of marijuana. You can even pay.
As we know, like in the Netherlands, they do have coffee shops where they provide like weed and stuff. Like you can just sit there, smoke a joint or whatever. But let's see how it turns out.
With your bank card.
You can pay with bank card as well? Okay. Wow. That's something new to me. Never heard that before.
But businesses like this one could spend up to 3 million euros buying stock without receipts.
Wow. Imagine just going into the coffee shop and seeing that menu, bro. Like, you have a lot of choices, you know? You can choose whatever you want. I see here they have some lemon cheesecake. So they have, like, cakes as well. So that's pretty cool.
It's technically illegal for them to purchase so much, but it's never prosecuted. That legal grey area here is coming under increasing scrutiny following the 2021 murder of Dutch investigative journalist R DeVries. He was part of a team supporting a witness in a case against a drug kingpin.
In the first place for his family, but also the client, it was a huge blow. Yeah, and we had to look for new balance and to hold on to each other to be able to continue.
These lawyers have spent more than 2 years under round-the-clock protection for defending a key witness in a trial against Ridouan Taghi. He's accused of ordering a string of murders, including the former lawyer and the brother of the main witness against him. Lawyer Peter Schouten says the trial against 2 other men accused of the related murder of DeVries has descended into a mess. It's now headed to retrial after a judge.
But why did this murder take place? Like, what's the meaning behind that?
Judge left the proceedings and a deluge of new evidence was submitted.
What I say is we should just legally man up against situations like this. Learn from what is going on here and make changes in the law so that it
learn from your mistakes as well.
The fear is that mafia intimidation might be winning. Journalists like Saskia Bellman remain committed, though.
My colleagues are really adamant in writing about organized crime and revealing what's happening in the country and how dangerous it is and how important it is to fight organized crime. But we're all more careful, you can say that. We're all more aware of the dangers and we are more careful. We look over our shoulder.
Okay.
With the port of Rotterdam thought to be the main entry point for cocaine into Europe, the Netherlands is under pressure from other EU countries. The multitude of court cases around these criminal gangs rumbles on, but there's also a national discussion about what's being done politically. And many of those questions are being directed here to the Ministry of Justice, asking exactly what is changing to prevent these kind of crimes in the future. The Dutch government sent DW a statement saying it's taking unprecedented action.
So who's this? Minister of Justice and Security, Dylan Yesilgoz Zegurius, okay.
And is investing an additional 700 million euros in the coming years to fight organised crime.
I personally think this country is not riddled with gang violence or anything like that. It's not like the Italian mafia or something, but it is starting to get a big problem.
Everyone turns to the Netherlands as the prime example of legalization of drugs and how we should, push forward to, for example, legalize marijuana and other kind of drugs. And and I don't know, it's really opens your eyes of the whole reality behind it and how the Netherlands has become an narco state.
The mafia gang has also been threatening people.
And like, as we do know, like, marijuana is legalized in Netherlands. I'm not sure what other countries marijuana is actually legal as well. Do let me know, guys, in the comments below what other countries actually legalize marijuana. I would like to know.
People in Belgium and Germany. Rooting out their influence is significant, not just for the Netherlands, but for the whole of Europe.
Molly Quell is a journalist for the Courthouse News Service in The Hague, and I asked her about the current drugs policy in the Netherlands.
Yeah, this discussion, as Jack mentioned, about what the Dutch call a front door, back door policy, which means it's legal to sell cannabis, marijuana from the front door of the coffee shops, but it's illegal for the growers to be selling it to the coffee shops themselves.
I see.
Has been discussed since this process was put into place decades ago, but has really come under fire in the last 10 or 15 years, particularly by mayors. Mayors in the Netherlands have a lot of power, mostly around like security and protection, and they have been calling for changes to be made to this because they say that this policy leads to a lot of other problems, including the issues that we were discussing with the DeVries trial, but also a whole host of other issues, assassinations and bombings, and the like.
So could one say that the Dutch authorities have been too naive about the level of organized crime in the country?
Yeah, I think that is one criticism that's sort of lobbied at the government, and some discussions about whether or not permitting the legalization of soft drugs here at all has created.
Like, in general, I don't think marijuana is considered a drug. Like, they use it for medical purposes as well. It's not too dangerous as, I don't know, some people say it. I'm just saying my opinion here. So, yeah. And for me, I believe it should be legalized in most countries around the world. I mean, it doesn't do any bad. Well, it does if you do it every day. But, since it's used for medical treatments as well, I mean, how bad could it be,
Created these problems. On the other hand, the Rotterdam is the largest port in Europe. Belgium also has these issues because Antwerp is the second largest port in Europe. I mean, there's no cocaine grown in this country. I mean, these drugs are being imported from other places, and sort of any country.
So they do have marijuana being grown in the Netherlands, but as she says, no cocaine. Interesting.
With a sea border and a large port is going to kind of run into a substantial number of these issues. Though I think it's pretty widely accepted that the status of the legalization of cannabis here has sort of contributed and kind of worsened the problems that would exist already.
The Netherlands is often perceived from the outside as a country with very liberal, even lax drug policies. Is this perception part of the problem?
To a degree, I think so. I mean, it's a bit of a misperception these days because the Dutch lag behind some other countries. Portugal, for example, has now a much more liberal drug legalization policy than the Netherlands does. But, the Netherlands was kind of the first and sort of has this reputation of having a very lax sort of system. And, a lot of the big cities find the sort of tourists that get attracted to this kinds of stuff quite frustrating. I mean, Amsterdam in particular has long complained that it spends a lot of money on dealing with kind of tourists who come basically just to sit in the coffee shops and cause a lot of problems. So, I mean, I do think that, this has been an ongoing issue, and you do see it in other places in society.
All right. We'll have to leave it there. Journalist Molly Quell in The Hague. Thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, that was an interesting video right there. Saw a bit about the drug mafia and how everything actually works out in the Netherlands. Do let me know, guys, your thoughts on this in the comments below. Let me know if you're from the Netherlands as well. Do you actually go to these coffee shops and smoke marijuana? Let me know in the comments your experience on this and your thoughts, guys. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy, guys. If you did, do smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, check out our Discord community. Link will be below in the description. And yeah, we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day and peace out.